Hey guys, thank you so much for coming to my channel. I'm Yoko. Today, I will show you 3 kinds of vegan lunchbox ideas. These are all lunch bowl style, so you can enjoy as it is or pack into the box to go. Every recipe is loaded with complex carb, plant-based protein, healthy fats, and tons of veggies to keep you full longer. The recipe makes 4 servings or small 6 servings depending on how much you need, so you can enjoy few servings for dinner and you can make a leftover into a lunchbox for tomorrow. These bento box recipes are also great for meal prep on the weekend and enjoy over the weekdays. Okay, let's get cooking. First recipe is vegan sushi bowl. First thing first, let's cook the brown rice to use as a base of the bowl. I have a video about how to cook perfect brown rice right here, so please check that out for the detailed method. For this recipe, we're gonna cook 2 cups of brown rice, which makes about 4 cups of cooked brown rice. Now let's prepare the veggies. For this, I sliced 1 bell pepper, cut 1 carrot into matchsticks. This is a little trick that using heel of the knife, you can pop out the top of the carrot. Then I just slice it, line up the pieces side by side, and cut into matchsticks. And chop 1 large cucumber or 2 small ones. And chop 2 cups of mushroom of your choice. Here I use oyster mushrooms. This seems like a lot, but mushrooms will down very much. Now add mushroom to a pan and steam to make a teriyaki mushroom. I try to minimize the use of oil for cooking to benefit fully from fresh oil, because when oil is cooked over the smoke point, oil can be broken down and leave a harmful compound. So add mushrooms into a pan, put the lid on, and cook over the low heat. High heat can be break down the umami of the mushroom, so stay on the low heat. You don't need to add any water to steam because mushrooms naturally have a high content of water and steam themselves. Cook for a few minutes and remove the lid. Add 2 teaspoons of coconut sugar and 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. Give it a stir and cook until sauce becomes thick. Next, we're gonna prepare the protein. In this recipe, we're gonna use 2 cups of shelled edamame. Cook in the boiling water for 5 minutes until defrost, then drain and set aside. Now, we're gonna prepare the vinegared sushi rice. Into 4 cups of cooked brown rice, add 1/4 cup of kombucha. Here I use apple flavor. Add 1/3 cup of rice vinegar, 1/4 cup of crushed and roasted walnuts, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And give it a mix to combine. Regular sushi rice is made with sugar, but by using kombucha, you can sweeten the rice without adding any sugar. And make sure to use hot brown rice. Cold rice doesn't absorb the liquid as much, so it can end up a little bit soggy. Before assembling the bowl, we're gonna make a soy mustard dressing. In a small bowl, add 1 thumb of grated ginger, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 teaspoons of rice vinegar, 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard, and 2 teaspoons of toasted sesame oil. Whisk everything to combine. Now assemble everything into a bowl. So here you can have fun with your creativity and make the bowl pretty as you like. So here I use a small bowl to serve the rice on the center and place the other ingredients around it. But really, do whatever makes you happy. For the finishing touch, I like to add these seaweed snacks. The seaweed adds extra flavor and also boosts the nutrient. I just break up a few pieces and add to a bowl, along with some sesame seeds to top it off. So now vegan sushi bowl is ready to serve. Drizzle some soy mustard dressing to enjoy. You can also use any veggies in your fridge to make this bowl. I think you'll be addicted to sweet and sour combo of sushi rice. If you have a non-plant-based family or partner you are cooking for, adding salmon sashimi or cooked shrimp, cooked tuna, make everyone happy, I believe. Before you pack into a lunchbox, let the rice cool down completely to prevent the food poisoning. Also, if you're gonna take your lunch to school or work, I recommend to store the dressing into a small container and bring separately. Drizzle some dressing just before you eat. So now you have a bento box ready to enjoy. The next recipe is tofu brittle bowl. For this recipe, we're gonna start with press the tofu to drain. Place one package of firm tofu on the plate and place another plate on top of it. Along with any sort of weight, here I use the canned beans to press the tofu. Set it aside while we prepare other ingredients. Next, we're gonna make an easy salsa. First, roughly chop half a red onion. Then place it into a food processor, along with 16 cherry tomatoes. Then add 4 teaspoons of tomato paste, 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, juice from 1 lime, few pinches of salt and pepper, leaves from 10 stems of cilantro. Add everything into a food processor as well. Give it a pulse to blend. I like to stay on the chunky side, but keep on going until your desired consistency. Next, let's make the tofu taco meat. For this, dice 1 onion and cut 2 cups of mushroom into cubes. Then move on to the stove top. Add 2 teaspoons of olive oil into a pot over a medium heat. Add onions and saute until they become translucent. Meanwhile, drain the tofu really good and add it to a pot. I just squeeze the tofu to make them into crumbles. This gives tofu a ground meat-like texture. Stir the tofu to make even smaller crumbles. Then add mushrooms and stir and cook until they all combined. Now it's time to spice it up. Add 4 teaspoons of paprika powder, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, dash of cayenne pepper, dash of salt, dash of pepper. I'm not a big fan of spicy food and I cannot handle it well, but if you love spicy food, add more cayenne pepper as you like. Also add dash of turmeric, dash of cumin. Give it a stir and cook a few more minutes until it gets aromatic. Also, you can substitute all the spices to taco seasonings. Now we're going to prepare the base of the bowl. For this recipe, I decided to use cauliflower rice instead of brown rice. So, into a pan, add 2 tablespoons of water and 4 cups of cauliflower rice. Cover with the lid and cook over the low heat for 5 minutes to steam up. Meanwhile, I'd like to drain and wash the black beans. Here, I use 1 can of black beans. At this point, the cauliflower rice should be ready. Transfer the rice to the bowl and we're gonna season this with cilantro and lime. Chop about 10 stems of cilantro and half a lime. Add the lime juice and chop the cilantro to a rice and give it a stir. Now we are ready to assemble the bowl. Add the rice to a bowl and place tofu taco meat, black beans, and fresh salsa. Also, I'd like to add avocado on top. Top it off with lime and cilantro to garnish. Now it's time to enjoy the tofu burrito bowl. When you pack into a lunchbox, make sure to let all the ingredients cool completely. Also, don't forget to bring the lime with you, because lime is nature's pre-packed dressing. You can pre-pack the bento box the day before you take to the school or work, but I recommend to pack the avocado in the morning to prevent browning. And also, don't forget to drizzle some lemon juice to keep it fresh. I like to pack my bento box with reusable utensils and wrap them in the cloth. The cloth secures the lunchbox and utensil in the place. And also looks pretty, I think. So now you're ready to hop out of the house fully prepared. Next, we're gonna make plant-based Tempeh Bibimbap. This is my favorite Asian-inspired dish, and you can eat tons of veggies. For a base, I cooked brown rice with quinoa. Instead of 2 cups of brown rice, I substituted a half cup of brown rice to quinoa. Also added 2 tablespoons of black rice as well. But the cooking method is same as cooking the regular brown rice. Rinse the mixture of rice and quinoa, soak overnight, and cook like regular brown rice. Find the detailed method in the description box below. So now let's prepare other ingredients. First, we're gonna marinate the tempeh. Cut the tempeh into strips and place into a container. Add 2 cloves of grated garlic, 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, and 1 teaspoon of coconut sugar. Flip the tempeh upside down and coat the tempeh with the marinade all over. Set it aside while we prepare the other veggies. Slice 1 medium bell pepper into strips. Into a large pot, add 2 tablespoons of water. Place sliced bell pepper into 1/4 area of the pot. Then place 2 cups of bean sprout on other 1/4 area. And let's fill the rest of the space with 4 cups of spinach. Try not to overlap each other. In this way, we can cook 3 dishes in one pot. Move over to the stovetop, cover with the lid, and cook over the low heat. While all the veggies are steamed, we're gonna prepare the cucumber. Slice a cucumber into a half-moon shape. Place the slices into a bowl, add 1/4 teaspoon of salt and massage. By now, spinach and bell pepper should be cooked enough. Remove them from the pot into a separate bowl. Bean sprouts need to be cooked longer, so stir-fry them until all the liquid is evaporated. Now season the veggies. For spinach, add 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. Give it a stir and set aside. For bell pepper, add 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar and mix really well. For bean sprouts, add 2 tablespoons of toasted and ground sesame seeds. This is optional, but I like to toast and grind sesame seeds by myself. Into a dry skillet or pan, add 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds and let it cook until seeds start to pop. Transfer the sesame seeds into a grinder. Here, I use Japanese grinder, but any grinder works here, or even a coffee grinder. If you don't have any grinder, you can chop the sesame seeds with knife. Grind until fragrant and add to a bean sprout, along with 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of toasted sesame oil. Give it a stir and set aside. Now we're gonna cook the tempeh. Add 1 teaspoon of olive oil into a pan, add the tempeh and cook until they get golden brown. Once both sides get browned, add the marinade left in the container and cook until the sauce gets thickened. Next, before I assemble everything, let's make the sauce. Key component of the bibimbap is the sauce, I think. Usually, people use gochujang hot sauce, but I like to use my own version of gochujang sauce because most of the store-bought ones contains lots of sugar. So, for this, in a small bowl, add 2 tablespoons of miso paste, 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, 2 teaspoons of toasted sesame oil, half a teaspoon of coconut sugar, and a dash of cayenne pepper. Add more if you like spicy food. Mix everything until well combined. Now let's assemble everything. Place rice in the bowls. Add veggies and tempeh, along with homemade gochujang hot sauce. I like to top it off with sesame seeds. Now plant-based bibimbap is ready to serve. If you are cooking for a non-plant-based family or friends, adding fried egg makes bibimbap more authentic. Now, like last 2 recipes, let it cool completely and pack into a lunchbox. This time, I've got a little extra space, so I added green salad with it to make it even more wholesome lunch. Top it off with homemade gochujang hot sauce and sesame seeds. Now, these lunch boxes are ready to take them with you on the go, or you can store in the fridge as a meal prep. So, these are 3 recipes I love to cook and pack for lunch. Plant-based recipes are so flexible, so mix and match your favorite veggies into this recipe. I hope you find some inspiration, or hopefully give it a try. So, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one. Bye!